So today is super exciting for me, hopefully for you too, but it's really exciting for me because we're here in Palm Springs Thousand Trails Campground. We're here with a bunch of other full-time traveling families, but this one family specifically is in a bus conversion. I love doing RV tours. It's my favorite kind of video to film and to edit, but bus conversions are my absolute favorite. A while back, I did a video tour of the Red, White, and Bethune bus. It's a early model Eagle bus conversion. It was a really cool tour. You can check it out right here, or here, somewhere in the corner. I'll link it there. This one is a really cool bus that's right down the street from us, so let's go check it out.
Hey everybody, so I'm Alex.
And I'm Ashley, and our Instagram is We.Are.The.Wanderlusters.
And we are a full-time family in this 95 MCI converted bus. And on the road, I do solar work.
So what got us on the road is originally we were already homeschooling our son. So I was actually looking up homeschooling stuff on Instagram, and I saw that people traveled and homeschooled, which I thought was amazing. And I had always wanted to do something like that, so I pitched it to him, and of course he was not down at all.
Not at first. It took a little bit of convincing, but we're here now.
Yeah, and so yeah, the rest was pretty much history.
Now, when I first met you guys, that was in Florida, on the other side of the country. We are in beautiful Palm Springs right now. But when I first met you, you were in a truck and fifth wheel, right?
We had a 30-foot travel trailer.
Travel trailer, okay.
So
what made you do the switch?
So I had always wanted a motorhome, right? Because I love the movie The RV with Robin Williams, and I've always loved just like traveling and being able to sit up in the front of the coach and have everybody be able to do their things as we're going down the road. And
I wanted a fifth wheel because I wanted a living room and like the space and everything. And I just happened to stumble across this bus on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. And I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's do a bus.
We made it happen. So this is a 95 MCI 102 DL3. So that stands for the 102 is 102 inches wide, so 8.5 feet wide. And then the DL3 is the extended version of the MCI bus, which means that's 5 feet longer than the standard 40-foot. Cubic storage from an understorage standpoint, I have 400 cubic feet of storage, which is absolutely massive, especially when we're coming from a travel trailer. When I had a bay that was roughly that big pass through, and that's all I had, right? So this has been a game changer from there. And also on board, all of our tanks and things like that are situated underneath. This thing has a 192 gallon diesel tank, which is amazing, as I can get roughly 10 to 11 miles to the gallon. So this thing filled up, I can push easily 1,500 miles, which from a comfort standpoint, if we need to go from across 3 states, if I have this thing filled up, no problem, we're there. So it's got the 12.7 Detroit Diesel 60 series. It's pushing 350 horsepower, turbo. Gross is 44,000 pounds. I'm estimating roughly where we're sitting right now with everything loaded in is probably in the neighborhood of 37,000 pounds. So after taking out all the passenger seats and all those things, I mean, this thing's rated to hold 60 fully grown adults, and obviously we don't have that anymore, but the addition of the renos that's gone inside the bus, it was converted with all household grade stuff. So I mean, there's 1x6 ceilings, all the walls, as everything's sturdy. We have butcher block countertops. We have everything that you would have in.
Spoiling it.
Yeah, I would say everything that you would have in, say, a small apartment. So
this is a big boy.
I like to say this thing's more of a small apartment on wheels than a regular RV.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
let me handle her.
Do you think we could take a look inside? Would that be all right?
Can we go inside the bus?
Yeah, all right. Okay. So I don't think we're going to open up all the bays, but one that I do want to show you is every morning I'm walking by here and I see them working out. They legit have a 24-hour fitness in this thing. There are plates in here, which is incredible. You don't see many RVers carrying around a barbell with weights. But this thing is massive. I mean, most of the length of this rig is all pass-through. It's just an incredible amount of storage. You said 400 square feet.
400
cubic feet of storage.
Yep.
I mean, that's crazy.
Back here is where all of our tanks are. So this tank here is gray tank, 75 gallons. On the other side of that is freshwater tank, 75 gallons. And then situated at 90 degrees next to it is a black tank at 75 gallons. Right in here is where we built the solar setup. I used mostly Victron stuff. There was 8 panels on the roof. One of them ended up getting damaged, so we had to take it down. It was in no use anymore, so now we're running 7 panels, pulling in 2100 watts. I have that coming in 2 separate MPPTs, the Victrons, and then we also have a DC to DC charger that was charging off of the bus. We were able to pull in roughly another 400 watts of power to the battery bank. I'm only running 4 AGMs right now. I plan to eventually upgrade to lithium because lithium, lighter weight, more storage. Though from a weight standpoint, the nice part about having the bus is that I don't really have to worry about weight. I can throw pretty much everything I want into this, which has been a great time.
Let's go check out the inside.
All right.
This is like one of the main reasons why I wanted a motorhome. So like when you get into like a Class A or these buses and things like that, you're able to sit so close to the window, have almost no blind spot while we're driving, and it's just been absolutely amazing. And it does help because you got to tend to make some real tight turns, especially with a big 45-foot long bus. We needed to be able to have a small office space, so what we ended up doing here is converting the captain's chair to a dual work office and school area. So our son actually does all of his school work up here, and then at the same time, while he's not doing school work, we can do any computer work and things like that without having to really take up any other place in the bus over here. This also tends to be our little collect-all area for shoes and other things like that as you kind of walk into the bus. One thing we did add onto the bus is we put 4 cameras, and so we have all 4 of them recording at all times. So as we pull the truck behind it, I can't see it in mirrors. So the only way that I can tell that everything's still good back there is the rear camera. And then figured might as well add some side cameras and a front camera to it too as well. So.
And they're recording.
They record 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which is awesome. So we also kind of use our little like security surveillance system, which is really nice. And everything is local, so it doesn't go to the cloud. I can take everything, I can download it all, I can look at everything on my computer and things like that, and all stays right here, which feels pretty nice.
This is our couch. Actually, the people who had this before us made these cushions out of memory foam, so it's super comfy. And it folds out into a full-size bed. So whenever we have guests or anything, they have a place to sleep. It's super comfy.
So the bus could have been fitted with air conditioner units on the roof like a regular RV. The only thing, we didn't want to do that because we want to still have access to the roof. So we left those out and we ended up doing room air conditioners for now. And so we have one at the front of the bus and one at the rear of the bus.
So we have our TV here and our fireplace, which actually heats our bus. It's like a space heater. Fun fact, we don't have any propane at all on this bus, so it's all heated by these electric space heaters. So that's just like an extra heat, and it's a whole vibe when you got the flames going and everything.
It really is.
Yeah, and we actually have a full surround sound system. We have the sub there, we have another sub here, and then we have 2 speakers, one here and then one behind you over there. So we have full surround sound when we're watching a movie, but also on travel days.
Being as that it's a bus, we have windows that run down the entire length here. There's not a single window that goes all the way down the bus that's covered up. They were specially made by the previous owner, and so they're hand sewn, and the reflective material that was up in front of the computer that kind of blocks out the heat and things like that have been sewn into these. So as we bring all of these down, it insulates this significantly more, and that's where most of our heat loss and things like that comes from. Up above,
Yeah, you can kind of hear it. It's like a thermal barrier.
Yeah. Up above here, the entire bus has insulation. So there's insulation above here. There's insulation behind all the walls. So once these are down, the bus can actually stay really warm. Even in like 45 degrees, 50 degrees at night, we don't even need to use the heaters. The bus is able to hold that warmth all night, which has been huge for us because we don't have propane heat.
So this is my AERO garden, which I'm super excited about and have wanted something like this for a really long time. I'm growing these for our lettuce, and then I'm growing green beans, cherry tomatoes, snap peas, broccoli, and then another cherry tomato. And it's perfect for on the road because it's compact and I can grow all these different vegetables, and it waters itself. It's like hydroponic, and then it's got this light that comes on. It's on a timer for like how long the vegetables needed to grow. And these ones are herbs. I've got dill, basil, and parsley that I'm growing there. This is a dishwasher, and it's amazing. Every RV needs a dishwasher. It actually washes a lot of dishes too and does a great job. And the coolest thing about it is it has a holding tank for the water. So when we're boondocking and we're not hooked up to anything, we just fill this up with water, and it only uses 1 gallon of water. So it's awesome.
Which is huge, because I feel like dishwashing tends to take up so much water, and when we had 30 gallons of fresh water in our last rig, like it made a game changer to be able to make sure all the dishes were clean without just blowing through all of our fresh water.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to have the room in an RV for a dishwasher. It's another thing to have the countertop space for one.
Right.
Which, especially in a motorhome, because we had a Class A,
Yeah.
that is very rare to have that much counter space.
Yeah. I feel like he said, it's like an apartment on wheels. Like all of this stuff you would find in like a regular house. Like it's all residential. Our stove is residential, electric.
Our light switches are standard residential light switches, which is weird because when you go into a rig, you normally see like the 12 volt, the somewhat larger light switches and things like that. So it's just kind of nice when it's a full-on apartment on wheels, which has been awesome.
There's times when I'm like, I don't feel like I'm in a bus. I feel like I'm in a house. This is residential, our refrigerator is, and we put on some child safety locks. This is what we do when we're going down the road to keep it from opening.
So, walking through, tight little hallway, but first place you're going to come to is the bathroom, which is awesome.
The real selling point for the bus for me, when I was looking at the pictures, was the full-size residential bathtub. Like, come have a look. Okay, it's not only like full-size, but it is deep. Watch. It's amazing. So yeah, I pretty much couldn't live without it after I saw that. But we did have a residential toilet in here, but when we were driving down the road, the top of the tank flew off and hit the tank and sprung a leak in it and drained our entire fresh tank. So we had to get a regular RV toilet, which we prefer anyway, because yeah, it uses less water.
And I mean, this is like a standard bathroom sink.
Yeah. Everything is something you would find in a house.
So as we walk further back, this is where we have the kids' room. The kids have 2 twin mattresses, full length.
They're like residential twin, like not RV twin.
Kids absolutely love it. And so we actually mounted this, so Declan's going to get into more like video games and things like that. So I passed down my gaming monitor down to him. So we mounted that up, got the Xbox in here for him, and he's able to play games. And they're able to just kind of spend a lot of time in here. And on travel days, this is where they'll hang out. It's raining outside, and they can't go outside. They can't do anything like that. They can do all the things they would normally do inside their own room.
And what we love most about this, I feel like, is they have like a floor to play on. They have like a full bedroom all to themselves to play with their toys, which we actually keep in containers, like flat, long containers underneath their bed, so they can just pull them out and they have a full floor to play on.
Our master bedroom, we have a king size mattress. We have a washer dryer combo unit off to the side. That whole side there is our wardrobe, so Ashley has one side and I have the other. And then we're able to gain additional storage. This drawer here will actually pull out, and it just matches up with the door because this goes full length of the bed. So this whole drawer will pull all the way out, and it's got about 2 foot tall deep storage all the way through. and I don't get the luxury of using that one. Ashley commandeered that almost immediately when we got the bus, so I had to get the little smaller side, but still lots of underbed storage. So we appreciate you guys checking out our 95 MCI 102 DL3, but unfortunately we have to go to a campfire, so y'all can't stick around anymore.